80% of crayfish washed with toxic chemicals. The hidden truth behind shiny shells and China's food safety crisis. Spotless crayfish. But at what cost? In Nanjing's bustling Xianhe Xintiandi commercial area, a net celebrity crayfish restaurant draws hundreds of customers daily. Gleaming red crayfish are laid out in polished steel trays, promising a delicious meal. But behind their immaculate appearance lies a disturbing truth. Oxalic acid, an industrial chemical typically used to clean toilets and remove rust, is being used to wash the crayfish. Not clean water, not careful scrubbing. A toxic substance banned from food processing. This is not just one store's secret. It's a warning about the collapse of food safety in China, where profit often trumps the health of millions. Crayfish, a beloved street food across China, has become a cultural icon. Found from roadside stalls to high-end restaurants, it's served in flavors from fiery Sichuan to sweet Cantonese. But what happens when this staple meant to nourish and bring joy turns into a threat? The story of oxalic acid isn't an isolated scandal. It reflects a crumbling system where truth is hidden, health is sacrificed, and public trust erodes. From popular street food to chemical hazard. Crayfish isn't just a dish, it's part of Chinese social culture, linked to midnight meals and gatherings among friends. Yet, in this Nanjing restaurant, cleaning crayfish has become an act of recklessness, devoid of ethics and concern for public health. A recent investigation revealed that the restaurant uses oxalic acid, commonly dubbed crayfish cleaning powder, to process its crayfish. This harsh chemical used to strip rust or clean toilets and metal surfaces transforms murky water black within minutes as it strips the crayfish of dirt. Their shells emerge shiny, spotless, and deceptively clean. But beneath that gloss lies a toxic residue ready to be consumed. This store doesn't operate in the shadows. With a 4.9 rating on food delivery platforms and over 1,000 orders per month, it's a Nanjing favorite. Hundreds of kilos of crayfish are sold daily from display trays to neatly packed takeout boxes. Why would such a successful store take this risk? The answer is painful in its simplicity. Profit. Hand-washing crayfish is slow, labor-intensive, and costly. Oxalic acid is cheap, fast, and effective. In minutes, hundreds of kilos can be processed, prepped, and sent out. The true cost isn't in money, it's in the health of unsuspecting customers. The hidden health toll. The use of oxalic acid in food preparation is deeply alarming. When ingested, it can damage the stomach lining, irritate the digestive system, and with prolonged exposure lead to kidney failure or liver damage. Medical experts warn that long-term consumption may cause chronic illnesses from nausea and stomach pain to kidney stones, and even cancer. Children and the elderly, those with weaker immune systems, are especially vulnerable. In Nanjing, customers were horrified upon learning the truth. One regular said, "I've eaten crayfish here weekly. I thought it was clean and delicious. I never imagined they used toilet cleaner to wash them." Others reported nausea and stomach pain, initially blaming it on bad food. Only later did they realize the culprit might be the shiny crayfish. But it's not just one restaurant. Social media reveals a widespread industry practice. A former worker at a Shandong barbecue shop confessed, "We were told to wash the crayfish with oxalic acid. We had to wear gloves because it burns the skin, but we still served the food." Another commenter wrote, "Who washes crayfish by hand anymore? Manual shops have shut down. They can't compete with chemical ones." When crayfish washes away. Public trust. Crayfish washed with oxalic acid don't just endanger health, they erode public confidence. A mother in Nanjing said, "I used to buy crayfish for my son. Now I'm too scared. How can I know which place is safe?" The fear doesn't stop at crayfish. It spreads to meat fish. Vegetables people begin to question, is anything I eat actually safe? 3 systemic causes behind the crisis. Profit over safety. China's food industry, especially street food and delivery outlets, operates in cutthroat competition. To cut costs and boost sales, many shops resort to cheap, dangerous shortcuts. Oxalic acid is far cheaper than hiring workers to hand clean or investing in sanitary systems. Suppliers often sell half-dead, low-quality crayfish for cheap, which shops revive with chemicals. One Nanjing shop owner allegedly said, "Without chemicals, we can't sell this much. Customers want cheap food, we have to work fast." Censorship and lack of transparency. Food safety information in China is tightly controlled. Stories like the oxalic acid scandal are quickly deleted or labeled as rumors. Whistleblowers, former staff, or concerned customers often face threats or account bans. In this Nanjing case, only after a covert video went viral on overseas platforms did authorities act. Even then, official details remained scarce, keeping the public in the dark. One Weibo user commented, "If no one leaked the video, we'd still be eating poison and not know it." Weak oversight and corruption. China's food safety monitoring is fragmented and under-resourced. Agencies like the Market Supervision Bureau often lack the tools or motivation for regular inspections. Violating shops are lightly fined or protected by local officials due to their economic contributions. The Nanjing shop, despite being caught using oxalic acid and having unsanitary kitchens with uncleaned water and foul smells, was only temporarily shut down for rectification. No punishment details were released. A sanitation inspector admitted, "We know many shops use chemicals, but they bring in local revenue. If we shut them down, who fills the tax gap?" The real cost. Health trust and the future chemical abuse in food doesn't just harm bodies, it destroys trust in the food system and government. In Nanjing, after the scandal, many customers boycotted crayfish, not just from this shop but across the city. "Who knows what's clean anymore?" one resident said. "Now I only eat at home." Another remarked, "I used to think popular shops were safer. Turns out they only care about money." This issue reflects a deeper crisis in China's food industry. From the 2008 melamine-tainted milk scandal, gutter oil reuse, to toxic mooncakes, food safety has become a national anxiety. Each new revelation is another blow to public trust. Children, the elderly, and the poor, who can't afford imported safe food, suffer most. They have no choice but to consume what's available, even if it's tainted. Economically, the fallout is severe. Shops using chemicals may profit short-term, but when exposed, the entire crayfish and street food industry suffers. Tourists avoid local eateries, revenues drop, and cities like Nanjing lose reputation. Crayfish farmers, already burdened by high costs, now struggle to sell. One farmer in Hunan said, "We work so hard to raise crayfish, but now customers are scared. How can we survive?" Socially, resentment grows in crayfish-dependent communities. Suppliers are blamed for poor stock shops for chemical use and authorities for failed oversight. Small protests have emerged, quickly suppressed as disruptive. Meanwhile, poor families live in constant fear of what's in their food. One mother in Guangdong said, "I want my child to eat healthy, but how do I know if the crayfish is safe?" We have no options. A warning no one wants to hear. The Nanjing scandal isn't an outlier. It's part of a larger pattern where food producers and vendors are willing to sacrifice customer health for profit. From oxalic acid in crayfish, chemical-bleached chicken, to heavy metal-laced candies, China's food industry faces an unprecedented ethical crisis. But the scariest part isn't the scandals themselves, it's the silence. Authorities act slowly. Mainstream media barely touches the issues. And the public, though angry, feels powerless. "We know crayfish might be unsafe, but we still eat it," said one Nanjing resident. "If we don't eat crayfish, then what?" Everything has a problem. On social media, despite censorship, citizens share the truth-leaked videos of murky wash tubs, time-lapse clips of crayfish miraculously cleaned in chemicals, and whistleblower stories. Some volunteer groups distribute home chemical test kits, but these efforts are drops in the ocean. When the truth is hidden, authorities stay idle, and trust vanishes. The crisis only deepens. Final message: will China act before it's too late? China's food safety crisis isn't about one shop in Nanjing. It's a wake-up call to a collapsing system eroded by greed, secrecy, and poor governance. Crayfish washed with oxalic acid is just the tip of the iceberg. Millions may be unknowingly consuming toxic chemicals every day. The question is no longer, is there a food safety problem in China that is obvious? The real question is, does the country have the political will to change? Once again, the public waits for an answer. But with polluted rivers, toxic food, and hidden truths, time is running out. If you believe the truth must be told, especially when others stay silent, follow China Undercover. We reveal what they try to hide. One story at a time. What do you think is really happening to food in China? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're listening. We're listening.